Okay, that's credits. All right, so first things first, we've now beaten 11 games in 2024 and 458 since we started doing this in 2020. I feel a little bad counting this as a game. This is a very short one, but it is a complete game, apparently. It's not a playable teaser for something else. It's its own thing, so we are going to count it. This is a complete game. Now we're going to turn that music down. All right, so thoughts. Let's talk about this game. So, I found out about this game yesterday when everyone else did. And so it's been out for less than 24 hours now. And I went into this fully expecting it to be a playable teaser for some other Silent Hill game, much like PT was for Silent Hills, the Silent Hills that never came to be. I felt like that's what it had to be. A free game that's less than 2 hours long? Why would you do that? Unless you're trying to advertise something else. It seems, since there has been no other reference to anything else, that the purpose of this game is a noble one. It appears to be basically a PSA for suicide prevention. That it is a message to people who are struggling or could be struggling in the future. So that's a noble goal. It's a bit of a confusing one. It surprises me that a business would allocate resources to something like that. If that's all it is, it almost makes me suspicious that there's some kind of other motive, right? But if that's all it is, hey, good for you. You spent however many tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to make this, and for free, just for suicide prevention. That's pretty cool. Now, does that make it a good game? That doesn't. We're going to talk about that. It's very clearly... So, this is a very strange game. So I have to collect my thoughts. But so let's talk about the positives. This is a very clearly PT derivative, right? It's games like this wouldn't exist without PT. PT is essentially a horror walking sim. That's what it is. It is a walking sim in every way. The only thing that's really different about it is that it's an advertisement for something else, and it's horror. The advertisement for something else doesn't necessarily change the genre, and the fact that it's an advertisement for a horror game, it's the only horror walking sim I know about. Even most games like I can't speak for every game like that. Like, I've never played Visage, or there's a lot of like browser games and like really cheap Steam games that I've actually, I have played Find Yourself and Summer of 58. Those are basically horror walking sims too that are very PT-like. So actually, that's not quite true. I have played some games like that. And some of them I've really enjoyed. Like Summer of 58, I really liked. PT, of course, I really liked. I played that before it was ranking games. But, and then those were really short experiences too, a couple hours. This is like that. And, as far as walking sims go, I think probably the ones that I enjoy the most are the scary ones. Let's start with this. The game is scary. It is scary. It is, I don't know what this is. It's the game is scary. It does a good job of building to a climax that is quite scary. So here we go with the suicide stuff again. It looks good. It plays well. I mean, there's not really a lot of mechanics, video game mechanics. There's no resource management. You don't even have like battery life or batteries or bandages like you do in something like Outlast. You have a phone, but you only interact with it when the game wants you to. And so it really is on rails, pretty much. It's a walking sim. It is scary. It got me pretty good a couple of times. It starts. I was really hesitant to feel anything about this game at first because I was so confused by its by its very existence. I don't understand. As soon as I saw this thing, I was like, God damn it, guys. Can you guys just as soon as I saw the advertisement for this yesterday, that there was some short game that was free, I was like, damn it, Konami, can you guys just make a freaking Silent Hill game? I'm tired of looking at, hearing about interactive experiences and things that blur the line between games and movie. I want a video game. I want a video game with resource management and ammo and fucking a map. I want a Silent Hill game. I want a real Silent Hill game. That's how I felt when I first saw this. And I was also like, I don't have time to play with this. Suicide Squad comes out tomorrow. I don't have time to play any games today. I'm having to change my day to play this game. So I was pissed. And so when I started playing it, I was pissed. I was like, what even is this? And for the first 30 minutes, that's kind of what my mood was playing it. But eventually, this game did start to win me over because it was pretty scary in some places. And I really don't want to spoil it, but there is a thing toward the end that you have to do that is a lot more video gamey than most walking sims would have in it. It's not resource management or anything like that, and there's no combat. But there is a task that you have to complete. There are fail states. You can fail and die. That's why I have 5 deaths on this counter. And even something like PT doesn't have that. My one real problem with PT, and maybe a lot of people like this, was that the end was basically impossible to beat on your own. You had to have a walkthrough because it was so obtuse that nobody would figure it out on their own within reason, right? 99% of the people that beat PT did so with a walkthrough, including myself. That was my only real problem with it. It's just like, God, you gotta you have to crack a fucking actual code, fucking World War II style, to even beat the game, right? But the point is that there was a task that you had to do. You had to do something in a certain order, and then you unlocked the ability to move forward, right? There is something in this like that too, and it's much more clear. It's much more intuitive. It makes more sense in the context of the story, and it was fun, and it was interesting, and I enjoyed it. And that was the highlight of the game. It was also the most intense, scariest part of the game. So I really liked that at the end, that there was a way to video gamify it a little bit, where you had an objective suddenly. I liked that, and that's kind of what changed my mind about the game finally. But by halfway through, I was thinking, okay, this has startled me a couple of times. It's not just jump scares. The atmosphere is pretty cool. This is pretty interesting. I'm enjoying it now. I've kind of gotten over myself when it comes to how pissed off I am that they're not just making a standard Silent Hill game, or that's not what this is. They are making multiple of those, I think. But I had kind of gotten over that, and I was starting to enjoy the game more. And then by the end, I was thinking, okay, this is actually pretty fun, and it's similar in style and how fun it is to something like PT. Or something like Summer of '58, or if you've ever played Find Yourself, is a good one of those cheap $5 Steam horror games. There's a guy that makes I think it's the same guy that made Summer of '58, Find Yourself, Beside Myself, and they're these lots of jump scares, little spooky little horror experiences that are they're not too deep, but they're fun and they're scary. And I do enjoy those. There are some of those games that I have played that are just jump scare after jump scare that are just exhausting because there are no valleys, right? And that so when everything is when there's a jump scare behind every corner, you start to expect them, and they're not. Suddenly, the game isn't as scary. It's just like I just wish that something would take my heart rate down. You know, that's why there's a lot of games that I've stopped. Like Five Nights at Freddy's felt like that for me. It's just like that's all it is jump scares. There's not really any atmosphere. It's just about getting startled, and that's exhausting, and it's not really scary. You know, this was pretty scary. And then the last thing is that behind all of this game and the scariness of it, it appears, and I haven't learned otherwise yet, maybe I'll look it up after this game, but it appears that the entire purpose of making this game, making it a short horror experience that is free to play, no questions asked, it's not even a PS Plus thing, it's just straight up free to download if you have a PlayStation, is to get the word out about suicide prevention. That appears to be the reason this game exists. And they're not asking for any money or for you to do anything, and it's not I just was sure when I started playing this it would be advertised like at the end, like Silent Hill F, pre-order now. I was certain it was going to be something like that. Just like PT was. And it appears that is not the case. That this game is just solely existing to broaden understanding and to get the word out about resources for crisis management kind of stuff, suicide prevention stuff. And if that is the case, that's pretty cool, right? That's noble. There's for any big company to do something like that and ask for nothing in return is noteworthy. It's probably a tax write-off or something for a charity or something, but regardless, that is noble. That there was somebody, probably one or two people, that were like, you know what, we should put something together about suicide prevention. What can that be about? Let's make it a Silent Hill thing. And then Konami signed off on that and said, okay, we're going to give you $500,000 or however much it costs to make this game to do that. And we expect nothing in return. I like that. That's cool. So, good job, Konami, for that. Konami makes a lot of fucking stupid-ass mistakes, but this does not appear to be one of them. Is it the best horror game I've ever played? No, absolutely not. You would need some kind of resource management for that. And probably combat. But it was worth the $0. It was worth the 2 hours, or an hour and a half and some change. And it was worth the $0 easily, you know, so it was worth playing. I did enjoy it, especially the second half. If you want to know what it's about, that's what it's about, and without spoiling anything. And yeah, download it if you don't mind being startled, scared, and if you don't mind a lot of self-harm stuff. There's a lot of warnings about that, but if you don't have a problem with that, play it. All right, that's it. We did it. I enjoyed that. I did not expect to enjoy this. I expected to be pissed about it for the whole day. But so I was pleasantly surprised. All right, last. You know what? Let's hit continue and see if anything else happens. You know what? Let's just end it. It's fine. It's over. Yeah, we did it. Okay. Chapter select. Okay. Well, whatever. All right, so that's the end of it. Last order of business. Silent Hill short message. It's been fun. Thank you for allowing us to play you for free. But we are now going to delete you from our console and never play you again. Bye. Thank you. Thanks a bunch. Worth every penny. And more.